at 6 on the outcome of that meeting later on tonight. It seems that may still happen if all things are considered. SABC political editor Mzwandile Mbeje on the line with us from the Union Building. So, am I correct? We heard Jackson Ntembu earlier on saying that possibly by 7 he will let us know. What is the picture now?
Well, we're waiting for 7 o'clock to get that update from Minister Ntembu to basically tell us if the President will be able to address us tonight. In fact, after giving us an update, we posed the question to him to say, given that it has taken so long, is there a possibility that this could be postponed? He actually openly made it clear that given the number of issues that are still being dealt with, a possibility that this could be postponed is very, very real. So we will know in the next 30 minutes or just under 30 minutes if we are staying here for another hour or two, or we'll have to go home to come back perhaps tomorrow where they would have discussed the matters. Remember, Tsapiso, I think what is dragging is that before the President met the National Command Council, he made other key stakeholders. So he made some of the political parties represented in Parliament which did not have the opportunity to speak on that day. So they needed to offer their views as well. What do they think should happen? And of course, there was also business. And then we understand that part of the discussion really is if, let's say, the President were to announce a lockdown. So how will that be able to be effected in rural areas? So I think the debate is around a number of measures that the President needs to take. But of course, as I have indicated, at 7 o'clock now, Minister Ntembu is expected to come back here to update us what is it that the President will say and when he will say it.
So as I said, lots of speculation and of course being very mindful not to create or cause a panic. What is the sense that you're getting? Is it because of the gravity of the situation, the extent to which there perhaps are either new cases or the impact already on the economy that it's taking so long to hash out the announcement?
Absolutely. The fact that we are no longer dealing with imported cases now, we are also dealing with local transmissions is a great cause for concern. So that is why every measure that they will put in place must be able to address that issue. I mean, I heard you speaking to my colleague Sophie Mkwena there talking about the situation in Free State. So you must look at what has happened in other countries. I mean, in Italy, for example, so they took it very lightly, and then when it happened, so they can't control it now. So South African government, with that kind of experience, I mean, we essentially have been given the template by what is happening in other countries. So we can move in now whilst the number is still low. So, but I guess what they want to do is that they want to be able to identify each and every situation because we are a unique country, but of course this problem affects us all equally. So our measures that our government needs to take must be able to take a number of those factors into context. A lockdown, which I think many people are hoping it will be announced, it could perhaps work in the urban areas, but I'm not sure how it would be enforced in the vastly sparsely populated areas like the rural areas. But of course, as government, so they need to bring leadership, because the main thing that they need to do is to contain this virus, because should it break out in the country, think of the informal settlements, Tsepiso, think of the crowded areas that ordinary South Africans go to every day. Perhaps you may get a sense or a situation where further drastic measures, maybe not a total lockdown, but a partial lockdown could be announced to try really and stem the tide.
All right, thank you very much, Mzwandile Mbeje, SABC political editor. He's camped out there at the Union Buildings along with other other journalists who are waiting to hear. President was expected to address the nation at 6 p.m. earlier on. Now we hear that might be at 7. This, of course, comes against the backdrop of a warning by the World Health Organization calling on countries to say spend now to avoid a meltdown, and that is spend money to ensure that you arrest the coronavirus so that it doesn't ride roughshod over the economy. It's already done that. We've seen the global markets hemorrhaging as a result of this. But how exactly South Africa is going to budget for this is the finer detail that is being sought from the union buildings. Okay, so we'll look at the